Tiësto, thank you for sitting down with us. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
So we see you a lot around here at the Wynn Las Vegas. You do all the venues. You've done Excess. You've done Encore Beach Club. You've done Surrender. What are your impressions of Las Vegas?
Well, first of all, I love Las Vegas in general. You know, the city is amazing, and it's #1 entertainment city in the world, and I love coming here. And you know, the Wynn is my home, so I feel very home here. I met Steve Wynn for dinner once, and you know, he really brought me in as part of the family. So my last name is Wynn now, Tiësto Wynn, and you know, it's nice to work with these people.
Absolutely. Now, needless to say, dance music is really booming here in America, and especially in Las Vegas. But you've seen dance music popularity waves before. You've been around for a long time. What's different about this one, and what are your thoughts about what's happening right now?
Well, the difference is it became a lot more mainstream now. It used to be just only in small clubs, and when I used to come to Vegas, not many clubs played just house music, no EDM. They were just all hip hop, and once in a while they dropped one track, and now they have this full nights full of EDM and like 10 venues at the same time. So it's a huge difference.
Absolutely. Now, what about creatively? What do you see happening in terms of the taste of the public and how that has evolved in recent years?
Well, obviously when it becomes more popular, it becomes more mainstream. So you see that a lot of pop acts make EDM as well now, and the combination, for example, Rihanna with Calvin Harris, you know, that kind of movement, that helps a lot too, I think, to bring more people into the scene. And once when you hit that market, they divide to all the other scenes we have in EDM. So through guys like David Guetta or Calvin, they discover younger DJs or other DJs. So it helps.
Okay, now take us for a moment back to your youth, if you will, and I'm curious, what's the first time that you actually heard a beat?
First time I heard a real beat was like in 1988. So I was just on holiday in Spain, and I just heard dance music, and I was like, what is this? And I was very curious. And then I discovered the house sound of Detroit, Chicago, and fell in love with that music right away.
Okay, so what are some of your earliest influences as a producer and as a DJ?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I think I listen to all kinds of music. I've never been just listening to one kind, but I love dance music, but I listen to a lot of other stuff as well. So the influences from rock music, indie, hip hop, everything that gets me inspired. Like sometimes you hear like a little sound or a little way they produce stuff, and then you know you get inspired from that.
Okay, absolutely. Now you're really, you could say, at the setting the bar for what's happening with the business of being a DJ now. In other words, we've seen a huge change in this industry, and I'm curious about your thoughts on where the music industry is now and how the role of a DJ and a producer is playing in the new music industry.
Well, yeah, the music industry is just a totally different concept now. You know, you barely make any money anymore on the records, not more on touring. And that's a huge game changer for everybody, I think. And it brings out the creativity more than ever. You have to be on top of your game all the time. You have to release great tracks every year, and it makes the scene a lot healthier, I think, because you have to keep being creative. And I think before you could just make an album and wait 3 years and make another album, but now you just have to release every couple of months something, you know, to stay on top.
Absolutely. And do you see the role that technology has played in changing what you're talking about? Can you talk about that a little bit too?
Yeah, the technology changed insanely much, of course. You know, when I used to play vinyl, and now with SD cards, you got all your music on there, which helps a lot. You can shop for records 24/7. You can find everything online, whatever you need. As soon as you know the title, you can find a track, and also productions. You know, with new programs like Ableton and FL Studio, it's so easy to make a couple of beats. So it's not easy to make something original, but it's easy to copy something or to make a regular house track.
Absolutely. Now, touching on that subject, there's been some debate recently in the U.S. around the idea of the artistry of DJing, and people that are accused of maybe not really DJing, of pressing play on a pre-recorded playlist, versus others who are known to be really solid DJs. What are your thoughts on this issue and the role that technology is playing in the live performance of a DJ?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not just about press play. You know, in the end of the day, if you know how to play an instrument, every instrument is simple to play. If you're a good guitar player, you don't even think when you play, and the same for DJing. So it doesn't really matter how you do it. It's more like the energy you bring to the crowd, the timing of the records, and how you tell your story on stage. That's for me the most important thing, and that's for real DJs. That's always changing. So.
Okay, absolutely. Now, how about yourself? I mean, what setup are you currently using when you DJ?
I'm a little bit old school. I still use 4 CD players, but I use the SD cards in them nowadays. So it's just like, and I'm still a real mixer. So I never really plan everything in my set. I just like play it by ear, see where I am. You know, today's a pool party. Yesterday was at Excess. It's going to be a different set. You know, so I never play the same. I can play some records will be in the same set, but it will always change.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Tell me a little bit about the differences between. Talk a little bit about Excess nightclub, because you mentioned Excess. I know you said before that you think that's one of the greatest clubs you've ever seen.
Yes, for sure.
Just explain, please.
Well, it is one of the best clubs in the world. I mean, I said it in another interview as well. Like, you know, if I could have designed my own nightclub, it would look exactly like Excess. You know, it's a beautiful building, and the DJ is right in the center, and oversee everything, but it's still intimate. It doesn't feel like it's a 4,000 or 5,000 capacity club. It feels like very intimate, and that's what I like about it. It's big, but it's still intimate, and it's very chic. It looks expensive, you know. They put a lot of money in that club to build it, and yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I feel so home there. It's clean and it's beautiful.
Now, last year you did a college tour with Porter Robinson. Were there any interesting stories, or what was the experience with that?
I like to travel with the young DJs and to the colleges, because I think it's inspiring for me, and it keeps me young and in touch with the younger audience to see how they react to music, and it's been a very inspiring tour for me. And what stands out the most for me is the energy they have. You know, they just go nuts for 5 hours straight, and it's just, you know, jumping all the time, and very open-minded to all kinds of music, open to new things, and yeah, that's the beauty. I think when you get older, you forget sometimes that you have to be open for new things. You get in a certain routine, and I think what I learned from that college tour was that you always have to be open for new things and try new stuff and experiment.
Now, I've heard a story that you played Maximal Crazy 9 times in a row. Is that true?
No, not 9, but 7 times.
Explain that scene for us. What happened there?
Well, yeah, first of all, I got inspired when I went to the Kanye West and Jay-Z concert in Paris, and I did the song 15 times, and I was like, okay. And then I was in Slovenia, and I just played it once, and the crowd was already going nuts. I was like, you know what? I'm going to push it this time. I'm going to try how many times I can play it. And the second time they went more crazy, the third time more crazy, and I kept going. And then after the 7th time, I was like, okay, this is enough. Seven was a lot. But yesterday I played it 3 times.
Oh, nice.
So I try to do it. That's a new style now. Do it at least 2 or 3 times. It's actually funny to see how people react on it. It's like, because it's such a powerful song that people just go even more maximal crazy on it.
So, I mean, is DJing the greatest job in the history of the planet Earth, or what?
Yes, 100% sure. It is the best job in the world. I mean, you travel around the world, you stay in the best hotels, you play the best parties, you play for a beautiful crowd, and you get paid a lot of money. So you can't go wrong. You don't get injured. You don't have to sing. So sports players get injured. Singers can lose their voice. You can always change your style. Like in a year, you can just readjust your music every day, actually. And a band on tour, they have their songs and they play their songs, and that's it. So yeah, I can't think of a better job than being a DJ. I don't think there is anything better than that.
No, I agree. I read recently that you've picked up an interest in American football. What do you think about it, and how does it compare to European football?
Well, you cannot compare it. It's a completely different world.
You still follow both, or?
Yeah, I love both. I mean, I think American football is very interesting. I mean, I think since I moved kind of to the US, I got more absorbed in the culture, and my friends explained me everything, and then I went to a couple of games, and then you see how serious it is, and those guys fight hard, and it's really a tough game. So, yeah, I love it. It's always a lot going on and lots of breaks, and I like it. A match can take 3-4 hours, so I love that. And soccer is great as well. It's very fast game, 2 times 45 minutes, no breaks. And yeah, I understand why you guys think it's more boring than American football, but that's the same thing. If you grow up in Europe, you grow up with soccer, so you absorb that into your culture, and you watch together the games. You know, when Holland plays, everybody stays home. No one goes to work, and it's like the Super Bowl every night. You know.
I love it. I actually follow European football also, and so who are your teams in both? Who are your teams in both sports?
In both sports, well, I wasn't born here, so I don't really have a team. So I support the teams of my friends.
Okay.
So it's a bit of everything. You know, I have friends who are the Saints fans. I got the Bears fans. I might move to New York next year, so then I might become a Giants and a Jets fan. I haven't decided yet because you know, I think I should support all the teams maybe.
So you're presently living in LA as your primary place?
No, I live a little bit everywhere.
Okay.
I mean, I live at the Wynn at the moment.
That's right. We love having you here.
Yeah.
Okay, so finally, talk about what you might have coming up in your world. I know you have, first of all, an incredible podcast that gets millions of listens every week, and your radio show, of course, and your records and your productions. What do you have coming up that we should look out for?
Well, I just released Tiësto's Club Live Volume 2 in April, so that's not that old yet, and I think it's one of the best compilations I ever did, and it's doing really well, and I still get a lot of great feedback from that, and I try to continue that brand because I love it. I love the Club Live concept. I like to play in clubs now instead of arenas, and you know, make things more sexy and more fashion. And I think I want to explore that side of the music business more, to get more into fashion and the club culture. And that alongside with, of course, great music. And I'm going to make a lot of great new songs. I'm working on a lot of different projects at the moment. So I'm working on a song for my Club Live Foundation. I'm going to start my foundation this year. And I'm going to make a theme song for that, and that one is almost finished. And that's going to be the next single, I think. So we'll see.
Awesome. Now, what do you mean about culture and club and nightclub culture? What do you have in mind?
Well, I just want to make the clubs magic again. You know, I did a lot of concerts in my life. I played a lot of arenas and stadiums. But before I did that, I was always a club DJ. And when I went to clubs, you felt you entered the new world, and that's what I want to bring back to the clubs. So the people together make the party. It's not just about visuals or sound. It's like the hottest people in the club, the best looking people, and combined with the crazy party people, and you know, it's more like connecting people.
Okay, great. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Great.
Much appreciated.
Cool.
Have a good set.
Thanks for having me.